The Asian Financial Forum 2018 considered the role of finance and innovation across the Asian region, including for China's Belt and Road Initiative, with one forum focusing on China's Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Bay Area, when Susie Cheung, representing the Asia-Pacific Structured Finance Association, described opportunities for loan securitization across both initiatives. So Susie, welcome. And when we're talking about structured finance, we're talking about the assumption of risk by one party or the other. So you're talking in the relationship of the Greater Bay Area in particular. What are the ideas that you see going forward?
In the case of the Greater Bay Area, I think the opportunities that may present themselves will come from the service industry. I was sharing my thoughts and insights with the audience, and I talk about the use of securitization to help to facilitate the raising of finance for SME in the Greater Bay Area. There is a real need to look into this segment of the society in particular, as we all know that most of the so-called the business they are run by small entrepreneurial owners. So the question therefore you may ask, if a lender keeps lending money to all the small borrowers, how is he going to replenish his funding? Okay, and plus on top of it, there's also this risk. Martin, you just talk about the sharing of risk. And the beauty about structured finance is that you can actually offload the risk to an extent.
So can one then say that the risks that you're talking about are A, safe, and then B, are going to be a trend for the future?
Yes, and then what happens is that once the lender does it, what he could then is that based on the bundle of loans that he's got, he puts it in a pool, and then he offers it to investors. Investors, I mentioned this morning, there is about 120 trillion US dollars of funds available from institutional investors, which can be invested. But the only thing is that in order to attract this revenue of funding into this segment of the lending, you need to standardize it and make it uniform, so that you turn it into a bankable pipeline of projects that institutional investors could do it on a long-term and a continuing basis.
Where does Hong Kong stand as the center, if you like, for these kind of collateralized debts and so forth?
Well, the thing about Hong Kong is that being an international financial hub for so many years, we have a significant pool of professionals in the form of bankers, lawyers, accountants, rating agencies, and all the supporting partners. You need that because in a securitized transaction, it's not just one banker and one single lawyer. It's not like a project loan or like a single loan. Institutional investors, they have confidence in the legal system of Hong Kong, in its the whole infrastructure, and with the way how things work in Hong Kong.
So looking at the Asian Financial Forum, which is where you've been attending and delivering your message, what's the sort of feedback that you've got?
I think it was on the whole very positive. And as I say, the global capital market is huge. And it would be a pity, for all concerned not to tap into that source.